So I've put up a video after this one, but I spoke so quickly that it was very difficult to work out what I was saying. So I'm just going to go through it slowly again. So it was for placing a microphone, as you can see, in the corner under the front pillar, and just a very simple way to do it. First thing I do was I pop out the two little clips here, just using a plastic trim remover. Underneath there are two screws, so you remove those screws, the gold coloured ones, pop them aside and keep them nice and safe. You'll need them later. The handle then disconnects. Okay, over here, if you get your trim remover underneath this, I haven't got it with me unfortunately, it slides on this little plastic and slides under there, and you're able to just flick on that area and drag it all the way down to the bottom. Now when it gets to the bottom there, that bit just lifts up a little bit, and as it lifts up it will start to edge this bit out as well. Now that is just to lift this whole area up and backwards, okay, and it will disconnect. So you don't need much force to actually remove it. It just disconnects quite nicely, leaving this aspect here, which just again just pops out nice and simply. That exposes the wires which may be underneath there, such as this one for my sat nav. Okay, so what I do is I connect this, stick it up there, run it through there, and it takes the wires down under there. Okay, and then what I do is I pop out this again trim remover just in one of the corners. It flicks out and I'm able to guide the wires through. Okay, over here, which is the instrument cowl, you have a screw there and a screw there. These are just basically little plastic plugs which go in, and you just turn the screw round, you'll feel it drop down, and you can pull that plug out, and that allows the instrument cowl to pop out. Okay, with the instrument cowl out, you're able to run the cables from here all the way through to here. Okay, which is where you want it to be. Okay, now over here, this panel can be completely removed by using again that trim remover and just going around the edges. I tend to start from the bottom and I flick out the bottom, and as you flick out, the whole of the panel will come out. Before you do that, you want to remove this aspect here. Okay, with the gear knob turns round, and then you can see this is missing here. Everyone's missing if they don't follow this procedure, which is to sellotape it into position so it doesn't drop down when you lift out. Otherwise it goes into this area here and lost forever. So as you see, I lost mine a long time ago. So this will all pop out, and behind it you'll have a series of about 6 electrical plugs, which you have to press down the tabs, okay, and then pull them out, taking care not to actually destroy the wiring, etc. on it. Once that's out, the whole of the, actually before you do that, what you want to do is put the car into chock the car up if required, put the handbrake on, okay, and then press your shift lock, pop it into neutral, okay, and that will allow your this whole panel to come off. Now with this gear knob off, there's a sharp gear stick, so what you want to do is you want to stick some sellotape with a bit of cloth around it just to remove the sharpness so that you don't damage your screen as it comes forward. So essentially unclip, okay, unscrew, tape it up to protect it, tape that up, chock the car wheels, put the handbrake on, and then pop it into neutral. Okay, press shift lock button, pop into neutral. Okay, lift off the entire tray. You'll gain access to the clips at the back. There's about 6 of them, as I said. Remove all them, and once you've removed them, the whole fascia will come through, and that will allow you to bring your cable further along. Okay, unscrew, I think is about 4 screws to remove the high head unit. Okay, pop it out, plug in your plug in your microphone into there if it's got one, pop it all back in, and reverse the procedure. What I also did when it was off was I put the USB switch over there. In the original video which you see, I was going to connect it up to the cigarette lighter over here, so that as the power supply goes off, I could then have no lights when the car's off itself, so it wouldn't be a continuous power supply. It would switch off the cigarette lighter. Instead, what I did was I ran the cabling all the way from there all the way over to this side, where I found a couple of 12-volt wires, negative and positive, and connected it up there instead. Now, it's better on this side as opposed to that side, simply because it doesn't cross over my legs. I can just have the cable straight to the table in the center console. I hope that it's a little bit more easier to understand. Putting it back again is the exact opposite. The only thing which I would mention is when you're putting this back, the path of insertion of this panel is down and backwards. So down and backwards is worthwhile. I ran this, it was covered in stain, so basically I ran it underneath the tap, just a bit of soap powder, ran it at the tap, and just the grunge that came out of it was incredible. It seems to pick up a lot of dirt because it's just prone to air coming out of there because it's a vent as well. It's just everything was brown in there. Well, I hope that clarifies it, and my apologies for not mentioning that earlier, or doing it better earlier.